He bid you then resign your crown and kingdom, indirectly held from him, the native and true challenger.
Or else, what follows?
Bloody constraint.
Welcome everybody to the second part of the Lamont Peterson Errol Spence film study. Or I should say Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson, because Errol Spence is the champ. He's going to be coming in here ready to go. And listen, first part we examined Lamont Peterson's style. Now we're focusing on Errol Spence's. Errol Spence, by the way, the real deal. You know, he proved that he was legit when he went over to England and took on Kell Brook in his hometown and managed to stop him. So he is the real deal. All the praise that people were heaping on him as he was coming up as a prospect have been validated. Now the question is, what can he do going forward? Can he maintain that consistency in his performances? And against Lamont Peterson, it's going to be a tough outing because, again, both guys are very similar. They both like to fight inside. They're both body punchers. The difference is Errol Spence is a little better in a couple of other areas, or most areas I should say, which bundled together actually makes him an overall better fighter. But he also does have weaknesses that Lamont Peterson could exploit. So without further ado, let's take a look at Errol Spence's strengths and his weaknesses. Alright, so first let's take a look at Errol Spence's jab. Like Lamont Peterson, he's not a big jabber, but when he does decide to use it, it's a pretty good jab. See there, shotgun jab. See how he places his foot forward. It's like a shotgun jab. It's a powerful jab. He's putting his weight behind it, and he uses that to set up, like there, his left hands. See? And that's the other thing about Errol Spence, as we're going to be taking a look at throughout this video, is that he cuts the distance off pretty quickly when he's going forward. He's pretty quick, as you can see there. And when he uses that jab, his ability to get inside multiplies. So he should use it more against Lamont Peterson if he's going to choose to try to get inside, which I don't know. I think he's going to try to box. I would be surprised if he does it, but you know, it would be a nice surprise. So now we're taking a look at his left hand. Look at the nice left hand. Boom, short. And there the feet got tangled up a little bit, so that's why it seemed like Algieri was hurt. But ooh, look at that left hand. See, this is the other thing I want to show. First of all, going back to the jab, he doesn't telegraph it all that much, but again, he doesn't use it all that much either, and we're gonna take a look at that when we focus on his weaknesses. But look at this left hand. Look at his feet, how he bends. Look at his legs, how he bends his knees as he goes forward. He's getting maximum leverage on that left hand, maximum impact. It's like he's throwing a baseball, which is how you're supposed to throw your straight crosses, by the way. Boom, look at that. And that's the other thing we're going to take a look at, is that because he leans forward and bends his knees when he punches, he's punching through the target. Now here I'm going to take a look at, he gets hit, but he's able to land the left hand himself. That's an indication of a guy who can take a good shot, but doesn't panic when he gets hit. In fact, that's the quality we want to see in a guy. He gets hit and immediately hits back. And see, you can see him punching through the target. Like I said, look at his knees, look at his front leg, bends it, and he's punching through the target. He wants to knock guys out. He wants to do damage. He's not looking there to tap, and then get away. Then he rolls with the left hand there. Ooh, now they see doubling up the jab. That's what I want to see more from him when he takes on Peterson. And the other thing we're going to be highlighting throughout this video as well, when we talk about Spence's strengths, is that he's more defensively responsible than Peterson. Again, if you haven't seen the Peterson video, watch it, or if you have seen it, you might remember that Peterson, he tends to languish on the inside a little bit, and he doesn't pull his hands back up quickly enough when he throws a punch, which makes him liable to get hit a lot. Spence can get hit as well, but he does become more defensively responsible, or he's more defensively responsible. Now here he is throwing the 1, 2, 3 right hooks to the body. Boom. Now a lot of guys don't like to throw right hands to the body because the liver is on your opponent's right side, so a lot of guys don't feel the need to throw right hooks. But As you can see, Spence here loves to do it. And look at this in slow motion. See how he holds Van Heerden with the left hand, holds him there, pulls him towards his left side, and then whack, digs a body shot. And that's the other thing, these body shots that he throws, and we're gonna take a look at that later on as well. He throws him behind the elbow, but under the elbow as well, because he's trying to lift whatever organs might be there up and paralyze guys. See there? And this is how he wears guys down, with those body shots. And a lot of people think, like I said, I don't want to hit the right side because, but nah, you gotta hit both sides of the body, and that's what Spence does. Spence is a natural body puncher. And see here, left hand, not that bad either. He can throw it straight. He can throw it in a like an uppercut position, trying to get to the liver. He can double up on it. He uses it as a lead to get inside. Overhand lefts, as we saw before. Here he's throwing it straight, and that's a powerful left hand. Look at that. Again, slow this down if you want at home to see perfect technique of how to throw a left hand. And he does the other thing, slow motion. See how he throws his left hand as an overhand, and see how he's shifting his weight towards his right, so that it's, now that the weight is on the right side, he could come back with a right hook, which we saw earlier, how he throws those right hooks to the body. So that's how he creates maximum leverage. A lot of people like to talk about how, well, what's the difference between him and Lamont Peterson? How come Lamont Peterson can't knock guys out as often or stop him as often as Errol Spence? Well, first of all, Errol Spence is a natural welterweight. Lamont Peterson, I believe, started at lightweight, but now he's settling into a nice welterweight. But even then, it's the way you throw the punches. And though Lamont Peterson does turn his body over, as we saw in the first part of the video, Errol Spence just does it in a different way. His shots are more compact, and then there's also that X factor, which is what makes a guy punch hard and the other one can't. What is it? And sometimes it's an X factor. I don't know what it is. So now let's take a look at inside fighting. Again, a couple little tricks here from Errol Spence. See where the body shots there. He holds guys. He uses his elbows and his hands to keep guys there. See how he pushes him back with his hands, opens up his guard, and just starts going to town with those body shots. See the elbow, push him back. He uses his hand also, his lead hand, to probe and to line guys up for the body shots, or for the left upstairs. And the other thing is, notice how he's defensively responsible with the hands up, or he pulls him back up when the other guy tries to counter. Here he is attacking both sides of the body. But see also how he steps back to prevent Phil Lloyd Greco from clinching him or from smothering his work. So very good sense of controlling the distance. Here he is cutting the ring off with a right hook to the body, and man, he's turning that hook over. See, so now he throws a left hand to the body and then follows it upstairs with a couple little shots. So here, boom, right up, left uppercut upstairs, downstairs. Let's rewind that because I fucked it up as I was talking. Okay, so he threw the left downstairs, right? Boom. He gets close. Look at his right hand, puts it behind on Kell Brook's back to control him, while he spins him a little bit. So then he goes 2 left hands upstairs, and then a right hook. Because see, those left hands were pulling Kell Brook over to the left side, to his left side, and then as he's going to his left side, he is met with a right hook. So those are some of the little inside things that Spence does. Look at it, he digs those body shots with both hands. So he works both sides of the body, and he throws right hooks mostly, and when guys aren't expecting it anymore, boom, he hits them with the left uppercut. And he like Lamont Peterson, he slashes. He punches through the target, even when he's going to the body. See there? Tap, tap, upstairs, tap, tap, upstairs, tap, 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 left, boom, right hook. So he mixes it up. That right hook hurt, those hooks hurt. Again, this is all behind it. He starts off with the jab as well. Maximum leverage, dipping his knees, bending his knees. And now we're just going to take a look at these assaults, which is when he starts mixing it all up. When he pins guys on the corner of the ropes or in the middle of the ring, as we see here, and just starts going to town. Look at that. And again, watch how he uses his elbows and his hands to line guys up, and see how he steps back in order to create space, punching space. That's also one of the little tricks of inside fighting. You need to create space Just enough to be able to turn your body over and land some mean shots. See, he blocks the right, lines him up with the right, and then boom, throws a combination. Guys, even if you're any guy that's defensively solid, but I mean, the shots are coming from all over the place. They're uppercuts, they're hooks, upstairs, downstairs. No matter how good a defensive fighter you are, some of those shots are gonna land. That's what you gotta do as a boxer. You gotta let your hands go, and something's gonna land. But you gotta let them go. You gotta be confident in your ability to land those shots, and also work your combination and your punch selection. See, boom. And he lines him up with the right, and then comes in with the left, and steps back to prevent getting clinched, because that's what Kell Brook was trying to do throughout the whole fight, clinch. I mean, I'm not saying that Kell Brook was just looking to hold during the whole fight, but when Kell Brook did get on the inside, when Spence got on the inside, Brook tried to clinch, same way he did against Sean Porter, because Brook isn't that good an inside fighter. A barrage of jabs, a barrage of straights, and he drops Kell Brook right there. So you see here, straight lefts, overhand lefts, hooks to the body, uppercuts. I mean, the shots are coming from all over the place, and look at the leverage he gets on those shots. I can't stress that enough. And there, see, he lines him up with the right again, boom, lines him up with the right, lines him up with the right, left uppercut, right hook. See, they're coming from all over the place. This is what wears guys down. Oh, and see here, again, defensively responsible. Ooh, and see, that's the other thing, just real quick, watch the first part, how Lamont Peterson blocks shots. He just puts his hands up. Errol Spence puts his hands up but rolls with the shots at the same time a little bit to deflect some of the brunt of the power, so he doesn't take it flush in the face. That counts, that makes a difference. Lamont Peterson does not do that. Errol Spence does. So here he is back again. What are we looking at here? Yeah, just mixing up the shots again. Look at those shots. And he blocks shots as well. So even if he's coming forward and launching shots and the other guy counters, he can still block him. I think we're gonna see there, he blocks, and see that slight little roll he does. So see here, he rolls a little bit with the hook. He's got his hands up, and see how he rolls. Can you see that? Just enough to deflect the full power of the shot. And he's very comfortable on the inside. Errol Spence, this is his office. You can't panic when you're on the inside. You have to be relaxed, and this is after years. Again, see how he blocks that shot? This is years of practice and just natural instinct. Some guys are just naturals on the inside. And let me tell you something, some people think that inside fighting is easy, and they think actually boxing from the outside is harder. I don't know about you, but I find that when boxing from the outside is actually a little easier. Maybe that's just my demeanor. I'm a natural counterpuncher, I like to bait people in every situations in my life, and maybe that's why I like to set people traps and then spring forward. But inside fighting, I find that's more difficult, because you have to commit, you have to invest, you have to risk, and if you're not a big risk taker, you shouldn't be on the inside. But see again how he blocks this shot, blocks the body shot there. Actually, he didn't really block it all that well there. That's a defensive liability we're gonna take a look at when he opens up his elbows a little bit, flares them up, but then he blocks the right hook upstairs. So as I was saying, Errol Spence, this is his office, inside fighting. I'd love to see how he spars on the ring in the gym, and how some of the pad work, sort of the mitt work that he does with his trainer, because really it is an art, inside fighting. And he kind of reminds me, see how he uses his elbow there again. Watch how he uses the hands, the elbows, how he turns his body over, how he blocks shots. It's just beautiful inside fighting. You can slow this down at home. I don't want to slow it down too much, otherwise we're going to spend an hour here. Errol Spence reminds me a lot of, with his viciousness, when it comes to the inside fighting, he reminds me a lot of Roberto Duran. If he can make a career out of this, a good career, he's going to be considered one of the best inside fighters of all time. Or maybe I'm exaggerating, I don't know, you tell me. But see how he lines him, keeps him there with and then he drops him. See those shots, inside hooks, right hooks. Oh, that hurt. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh my god. And again, the leverage he gets on those shots. Look at that. You can stay in there if you want, but like Van Heerden found out later. I mean, look at this barrage. You can't just cover up in, and that's what Lamont Peterson, he's gonna have to move or do something different. He's just not gonna be able to just stand there and take those shots. He's gonna get murdered. And I know he's gonna get, Lamont Peterson is gonna try to give as good as he receives, but I don't know, man. I think Lamont Peterson, Errol Spence just hits harder than him, and that's gonna be one of the differences. Gonna make it a top 5 for Peterson. Now look at how Errol Spence holds the head here. This is something that he does often. Well, here he's using his elbow to create space, but you're gonna see holding the head, real subtle, but he does it anyway, and he hits either he holds you behind the head, and he'll hit you to the body or upstairs. And against Chris Algieri, he was able to cause a knockdown, as we're gonna see now. But here though, we're looking at how he, what am I looking? Oh yeah, the distance. See how he, is this in slow motion afterwards? But see how he steps back. See, okay, first of all, there's a lot to look for here. See how he uses his elbow. Hold on a second. Okay, how he uses his elbow to keep him in position. As we talked about, he uses his hands and elbows and shoulders to keep guys, situate them where he wants them, plays them where he wants them, and then he uses the shots as well. But look at how Algieri is trying to move towards his right. Spence creates space by stepping back, moving with him, and throwing shots. And then again here holding a little bit, and see, holding there, right there, using his elbow. See, he uses his elbows to place him back into the corner, holding again. The ref warns him, doesn't warn him there, and Algieri took a left uppercut, holds him again there, boom. And this is the one that, look at this. So Algieri comes in, Spence steps back, holds him behind the head, holds him, see this, puts him in position to where he wants, lines him up for the left, boom, knockdown. Referee said nothing about it. Hey, listen, fair game. Referee said nothing, you keep doing it. Here he is on the ropes, and he's the one that's getting the best out of it. And then Kell Brook steps back. Kell Brook is the guy that has him on the ropes, and he steps back. What does that tell you about the damage that Spence is doing to him there? Look at this. He blocks a shot, and then Kell Brook has to step back. Doesn't want to stay in there. See, even if you clinch Errol Spence, he's still gonna get enough space to get you on the inside with shots. Even if you clinch him, he's not gonna stop punching. So here, see, Kell Brook clinches. See his left hand, he puts it behind of Errol Spence, tries to clinch him, but Errol Spence says, all right, you want to play this game? He leans down or dips down so he can get leverage to do this, to throw his left hand. So he's just little taps, they hurt after a while. Kell Brook decides to fight back himself. So at this point, when you're in this position, it's really a game of I hit you, you hit me. But Errol Spence is able to do something. See here, right? Even he's using this hand to hold Kell Brook's arm there, so he can't punch with the left. But even then, Kell Brook can only punch with the right hand. Errol Spence can also punch with the right, and then he goes back to the left, and then the right again. See, he finds ways to punch with both hands on the inside, even when he's being clinched. And then see, holding behind the head. And again, see, sometimes he'll step back to create distance. And then how he escapes. See how he escapes the clinch there? Yanks his arm out of there. So that creates momentum to yank the arm out, but also sets him up enough, it sets enough space up to throw that left hand upstairs. So very good inside fighting, little subtle things that Spence does. I don't want to focus too much on the subtleties because we're going to be here all night. That's why I didn't do the same thing with Peterson. Although Peterson doesn't really do as many things on the inside as Spence is able to do. See, here's Spence again, holding behind the head. Lines him up with the elbow there. You guys get the idea, right? And then blocks. See, that he's defensively responsible because he blocks shots. Now we're gonna see him countering. Good straight lefts when he counters. Brook was going downstairs in this fight a lot, and Spence just figured it out and started countering. First of all, like I said, like I showed you though, I'm gonna rewind a little bit real quick. So he counters with the left, right, upstairs, but he can also counter with left uppercuts, like right there. Boom. So he figured out that Brook was trying to get him up downstairs, like right there. But see, then he started figuring it out, and he started countering upstairs, downstairs. And I love that uppercut to the body, counter uppercut to the body. And he can also counter with 1-2s. Look at that. That lifted Kell Brook. You can see it hurt Kell Brook. Look at that. Should I rewind? Why not? Real quick. Boom. And Kell Brook steps back and leans down because that hurt him. He can counter with right hooks as well. Spence can. You can see him. See that? See how he blocked that shot? Alright, hold on a second. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Look at how he catches and shoots. Catches and shoots. So he can keep putting pressure. Oh, look at this beautiful move. Steps back, steps back, steps back. Whoop. Fights and then steps back again. So in and out. So this is what he does. He can put pressure and counter while putting pressure, or he can just barge in and throw body shots. So you just never know what you're gonna get with Errol Spence. He just puts maximum stress on you, maximum pressure. Whether he's on the outside, stepping in and out, whether he's coming forward and hitting you with body shots, whether you're clinching him, he's still gonna hit you. He never lets you rest. Now we're gonna take a look at his defense and his footwork. Pretty good defense. His main form of defense is this: his hands, blocking shots. He doesn't move his head all that much. Not really what you would call slick. But then again, like King Bucho says, what the hell is slick anyway? But see how he blocks the right hands here with his hands. See how he blocked the body shot there. Again, we saw, I mentioned this before earlier on, so we're not going to spend too much time like this, but man, if you're a body puncher, you should know how to block body punches, and that's what Errol Spence does. See how he keeps his hands up there, deflecting shots, and like I said before, how he rolls with shots, even though he has his hands up, in order to deflect some of the power. Second line of defense are his feet. He can take little steps back to get out of range and make guys come to him. Get them off balance. See there? And then he can keep his hands up either way, just in case. He can parry shots, roll with the shots. And look at how he maintains distance here. See? He's using his feet, combining them with his offense in order to prevent from getting hit. Let's look at this one in slow motion. So he puts pressure. Actually, I think I'm gonna show it in slow motion later. No, I'm not. All right, so let's rewind that real quick. Actually, I like this sequence better. Okay, so he puts pressure. He has Algieri in trouble, and Algieri is gonna try to, he's moving. He's looking to counter. He's in trouble. Errol Spence lines him up with the right, and then he throws body shots. Then he steps back to prevent Algieri, and look how he uses his right hand to keep him in place, and that prevents Algieri from clinching him. And then he goes right back to the attack, and then see this. So look at this. So he steps back, body shot, step back, steps back in, steps back, and then boom, counters. That's using his footwork to get in and out, prevent from getting smothered and clinched, and then he gets the knockdown. And see here again, Kell Brook trying to clinch, but Brook just keeps on coming. Now here we're gonna look at how he cuts the ring off. Algieri trying to move to his left. Spence follows him there, pins him to the ropes, uses that jab in order to probe him. Again, Kell Brook trying to escape here. He can't do it because he hit a right hook. Barrera trying to move to his right. Spence won't allow it. Moves him to where he wants him to go with the hooks to the body. Van Heerden here, third round, he took some body shots, tries to move as well. But look at Spence. Again, look at how he maintains distance. He steps back. He prevents Van Heerden from attacking him and from clinching him. See how he cuts the ring off here. Look how he's cutting off the ring. Cutting off the escape route. Very good from Errol Spence. Very good. There he's just, see how he can glide side to side. The first sequence that I showed here, I forgot to mention, was the pivot, real quick. He can pivot away from the ropes. See that? And see here gliding around the ring, trying to give Kell Brook a new look, you know. Maybe a little tired from putting up all that pressure fighting, so, but then again, look at this. He lulls him forward and then boom, catches him with 1-2 and goes back on the attack. See how he uses his feet here to evade some of the jabs and some of the incoming shots. Look at that. Well, actually, that was more upper body movement, but see, body footwork here. So if he wants to, he could use some of his boxing skills in order to, I mean, it's not, it doesn't have to be all inside fighting, especially against a guy like Peterson, who is going to give as good as he receives. Now let's take a look at some of Spence's weaknesses. What's the first one? Oh yes, when he attacks, he opens himself up a little bit and he can be countered downstairs like there. And see how he's being doubled over by those shots. But see, Kell Brook tried to follow that right hand up with some hooks, but then afterwards he didn't. Same thing with Algieri here, goes downstairs with the body shot. But you have to follow that up with hooks. And anytime you can hit a guy with the same shot over and over in different fights, that means he's liable to get hit most of the time. And you can build off that. Hit him with the right hand, and then you follow it up with left hook upstairs. Or maybe right hand downstairs, left uppercut to the middle, upstairs. I mean, listen, he can get hit. A master boxer should be able to devise a good game plan to do some guerrilla warfare, tap him in and out, and get enough shots in other words, to get the win. Here, I'm trying to highlight how he just gets hit a little too. See there, open to the body a little bit, and that's because sometimes he'll flare his elbows up. See there, he'll pull him back. Most of the time, he'll pull him back quickly enough to block the shots, but it's a little inconsistent. As inconsistent as Peterson's defense, no, but it's still a little inconsistent, and I don't like that. Again, you can't fight a perfect defensive fight. It's not 100%, you know, it's impossible, but you can try to minimize the amount of times you get hit. Now, Brook does land more punches than he takes, so that's good. But what I'm saying is that he does have some defensive liabilities. He's not a defensive mastermind. And see here on the inside, little shot here, languishing on the inside, got a little too careless, and boom, gets hit there, and look at him. Ooh, that punch hurt him. Look how he clinched. He's the one that clinched there. And Lamont Peterson is a good body puncher, so Spence is gonna have to watch out. And here he takes a counter. Hold on, okay, hold on a second. He's gonna take a counter right uppercut to the body there, boom, and then he stays there and gets caught. Again, good chin, good. He's always relaxed, but you don't want to find out how tough you are by taking too many shots. That's just not good. And here he gets backed up with the right hook. Again, Lamont Peterson is a good body puncher, so Spence is gonna have to stay sharp. So he's getting hit there with some shots. Now that's the thing, the left hook. A lot of guys don't like to throw lefts against southpaws. They think it's too difficult, but it can be done. Here he's getting hit with a couple of jabs. Again, pretty good defense, because he was evading some jabs later on in the fight against Kell Brook, but he did get hit out also with some of them. So, and you know what happens if you're getting hit with jabs, like right there, the other guy can use that to set up the rest of his offense from the jab. Here he's just coming forward and eating right hands. The perfect punch to use against the southpaw. Now here's the problem with Spence. He attacks in a straight line or by dipping his head to the left, so guys can line him up for that right hand. Look at this, boom. He doesn't move his head when he's on the outside either, so it's easy to it's relatively easy, I should say, to time him with that right hand. See, lined him up there. Overhand right there, wasn't that big, but that one there, that one there. So Barrero was trained by Nacho Berenstein, so he does have a good right hand, you know, good technique. He was able to land some shots on Errol Spence. He's taking uppercuts there because, again, he dips his head to the left when he comes in too. Look like right there. And then we're gonna see Peterson likes to throw. See, he's getting hit with lead lefts, uppercuts there. And let's take a look at, again, look at this. Well, we're gonna take a look at Peterson's left uppercut as well, that he can use. Boom. He might be able to use it against Errol Spence, you never know. And here he's taking right hooks because look at his, right uppercuts, because he dips his head to the left. And so far, nobody has really been able to exploit that, but you never know. Lamont Peterson, he's been improving his boxing skills ever since he lost to Timothy Bradley in 2009. So you never know. Now, here's the other thing. Like I said, he comes in with his hand, he dips his head left, right? Look at this. See how he's dipping his head left? And Greco did a good job in those 4 or 5 rounds that he spent there with Spence in the ring to use his lead hand to control Spence. And look at that. Puts him off balance. See there again. See here again, dips to his left, and guys are able to get their hands behind his head. And Lamont Peterson, as we saw in the first part of the film analysis, he loves to do this as well. Well, not loves, I mean, he does it often. So he's gonna try to do it against Spence, if Spence decides to keep dipping his head left all the time, like right there. And then boom, he gets lined up with the right hand, and there, see, he gets off balance right there, real quick. Boom. Good chin, but again, so a guy might be like Peterson. If he decides to start boxing, he might be able to use his lead left hand to keep him off balance, to keep the distance. Again, like Lamont Peterson doesn't really do that. I've never really seen him use his lead left all that much, but you never know. So that was the second part of the BDA Boxing film analysis. As you can see, Errol Spence, a good fighter, one of the best. This is going to be very tough to beat. Inside fighting, punching power, good control on the inside of his opponents with using his elbows, his hands, good control of the distance to prevent guys from clinching him, good chin, good stamina as well, apparently, as we saw him go late against Kell Brook. So just overall complete package when it comes to his style. Again, I haven't seen him stick and move all that much. I don't know if he's going to do that against Lamont Peterson. It would be a nice surprise. It would make for an entertaining fight, or as entertaining as if he's just stood there in front of Peterson and just exchanged body shots with him. But I mean, listen, it would show a different dimension, and that creates longevity for him as a pound-for-pound entrant. So that was a BDA film analysis, the second part. Again, tell us what we got right, what we got wrong. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us your suggestions in the comment section. Don't forget, we do podcasts every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Join us there via Google Hangouts. Everybody's welcome. And take care, folks. We'll see you in the next one.